Namaste everyone. Sit in any comfortable pose and close your eyes. Keep your spine straight. Let's chant 3 times Om together. Inhale. Join your hands together in front of your heart center. Bow your head down and then open your eyes while blinking. And namaste. Okay, so yesterday we talked about Vinyasa flow. Okay, so we are going to talk about warrior, B, and side angle pose. Okay, just come up on your mat. Let me see how do you do warrior B. Okay, the basic alignment of the warrior B is going to be your front leg will be bent into 90-degree angle and back leg that will be extended outward more than 1 leg distance apart. Okay, your toes are facing to the camera to the side and it will not be turning inward or outward. Okay, that should be parallel to the front edge of your mat. Very nice. So this is your warrior B. In this, your hips are opening out to the side, but in the warrior A, your hips will be facing forward to the front leg. Okay. So here, again, our hips are square, but our hips are square to the sideways. Okay. Our hips are not square to the front way. Now, yes, release now. Now, see, in the warrior B, it is, what is the main purpose of the warrior B? What do you feel like?
Strengthening of the muscles which is of the leg which is in front. So basically, if my right leg is in front for warrior B in the initial pose, then it would strengthen as it is in the lunge position, and stretching the inner thigh muscles of the leg which is behind.
Yes. So basically it gives strength on our front leg and stretches on our back leg. Okay. Yeah, it gives strength on our front leg and stretch on our back leg. Okay, so why is it like more than 1 leg distance apart?
I'm sorry, sir. I missed your whatever you said. I'm having.
The same thing I said. Like the purpose is to bring the strength on your front leg and stretch on your back leg. Okay, your back leg that should be straight out, and your feet won't be turning inward. Like in the warrior A, what was happening? Your feet was turning inward. Even in the triangle pose, we were turning our foot inward, but we were trying to open up from the top of our femur bone from here, from our pelvis. Okay, but in the side angle, this warrior B, what is happening? The feet will be turning forward, like your toes are pointing forward to the side, and you're gonna bend your front leg at the knee and pushing your hip down. Okay, your hips will be open as same as like a triangle pose. Did you, hello? Am I audible, Miraya ji? Sorry, Varunda ji?
Yes, you're audible. I think I have issues from my side right now. So that's the reason it's fluctuating.
Okay. So in the warrior B, your front leg would be above the 90-degree angle or into the 90-degree angle according to the strength that you have got in your legs. Okay. And one more thing about this warrior B, make sure you are not bringing your front leg inward to the center line of your body. Make sure your front leg is moving out or away from the center line of your body so that you can increase the intensity of the posture. Okay. And second mistake that we usually do in this warrior B, we always put our inner arch of your foot on the floor. Okay. Always remember to lift your inner arch of your foot and press your back outer edge of your foot on the floor. Okay. And one more thing, in order to ensure that our knee is not twisting, so how we are going to ensure? See, wherever your knee is facing, the same direction your toes should face. Okay. Let's suppose if your knee is moving outward, your toes should also facing to the same direction. Okay. If your knees is moving inward, your toes are also supposed to facing to the same direction. That should happen in this pose. And each and every posture, we do have two things. First is following part, second is your leading part. Okay, whether we talk about warrior A, triangle pose, Paschimottanasana, standing like back bend, in each and every posture, we do have two parts, following part, leading part. So in this, our leading part is our front leg, but our following part is our back leg. Okay, it's very hard to bring the consciousness in your following part. Okay, your front leg is influencing your back leg. The more you are aware with your front leg, the more you will be aware with your back leg. Okay, so we have to bring the awareness on our back leg more than the front leg. It's easy to bend your right leg, like front leg into 90-degree angle or hold the position, but we forget to bring the awareness in our back leg. Okay, following part and leading part in each and every posture. Let's suppose you do handstand. So in the handstand, what usually happens? We bring all consciousness in our arms, but we don't bring the awareness in our feet, in our legs, right? So uh, yeah, am I audible now? Did you
Yes,
hear
you're
what
audible,
I
sir.
said?
Yes, you discussed about the leading leg and the falling leg.
Yeah, the falling part and leading part. Okay.
Yes.
After this, we will understand like where are we supposed to feel the stretch in this warrior B. See, B is like the purpose of the warrior B is like is to bring the strength more than the flexibility. Okay, so in this, we are supposed to feel the stretch here on the inner thigh of your muscle. Okay, when you are holding in like your front leg, that will be strengthening from the inner thigh, but your back leg that will be opening out. Okay, from here, first we will understand on our spine, like we will be into the supinated position, and then we will try to get to the warrior B position. Okay, so you will bend your front leg into 90 degree and extend your left leg completely out, and then lie down on your spine. Okay, so yeah, it's okay, you won't feel much, but we need partner for this who's going to push you down towards the floor. So that's how we are going to do. Your front leg would be into 90-degree angle and back leg would be straight up behind your back. Okay, so that will be in that way, like the same like we are doing in the standing, the same like we are going to do on the on our spine or supinated position. Okay, so it's very like everything is similar, like a triangle pose and warrior B, warrior A in this pose. Okay, and one more thing where we are supposed to bring the awareness in our back knee, make sure that is not twisting, make sure your back leg is rotating outward completely, and your front leg is not supposed to get into the center line of your body. It's supposed to get out of the center line of your body. That's it. And apart from your legs, now let's talk about our upper body. Your spine should be straight up and your hips should be squeezed in, like anterior pelvic, posterior pelvic. Remember, like when your hips is
Yes.
shooting forward, that is your anterior pelvic tilt. When your hip is moving backward, that is your posterior pelvic tilt. So remember to always squeeze your hips in and then try to engage in from the back, and then you will feel stretch on your front side of the hips or pelvis girdle. The more you are engaged with your lower belly, the more engagement you will have on your lower back. So did we also discuss about the crossbody syndrome?
Yes.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, I know about it. Yes.
See, in the crossbody syndrome, what happens if your lower belly is does have strength, then definitely your lower back will have also strength. If your upper belly or your abdomen does not have strength, then your buttocks will not have the same strength. Okay, so proportionally, that will influence your opposite side. Okay, so what you have to understand, engaging your hips in posterior pelvic tilt, and then squeeze your butts and engage your abdomen. At the same time, you will engage your abdomen and then butts will also be engaged. Okay, your lower back will be straight and your hip flexors will be extended. Your hands is not like getting away from the shoulder girdle. Okay, just keep your hand back in your shoulder girdle and rotate your hands outward. Shoulder blades should be like depressed down towards the floor. Okay, and your neck should be nice and long and turn your head to the right side only. Okay, one more thing about this. Either you can turn your palms downward or upward. Okay, if you're turning your palms upward at the time, by default, your hands are depressed down automatically. Okay, so you don't need to bring more awareness in your shoulders. If you're turning your palms downward, at that time you become more heavier with your hand. I mean, with your upward, like when your palms are facing upward, at that time your hands become heavier, but you feel the depression in your shoulders. But when you're turning your palms downward, at that time you'll be more engaged with your arm, and then you forget about the depression of your shoulders. So if we are going to modify this warrior A, warrior B, how we are going to modify? You can go against the wall. Okay, use the block as we did in that day. For the warrior A, we will use the block in front of your, like adjust the block beside your knee against the wall, and then open your hip out. Okay, the more you push from your front leg away from the center line of your body, the more stretch you will have on your hip flexors. Okay, the foundation of your feet should be in one line, like your heel should be in one line. If you're bringing your front heel and inner arch of your foot in line, then it will be hard to open your hips more out, because we are supposed to open up our hips. So what we can do for this, we can keep our heels in line so that it will be more easier to open your hips out. Okay, then again use the block, then open your hip out, look front to your palm or depress the shoulder down like this. And one more thing in this warrior B, make sure that you're not leaning forward. Many people, they lean forward like this. Okay, if you're leaning forward, then you are transferring like most of the body weight on your front leg only. Okay, so bring your spine back to the center line of your body and then press your back outrage of your foot on the floor and then hands straight. And about this warrior B, if you have knock knees, if you have hyperextended knees, then you must feel pain on your, you must feel pain on your back knee. Okay, so always remember to bend your back leg at the knee slightly. If you have hyperextended knees, if you don't have, then it's fine to stretch your leg all the way out. Okay, Sneha ji, we are talking about warrior B.
I have a question, sir. So if we are using a block in a warrior pose, so we have to push our knee towards the wall.
Yes, we have to push our knee towards the wall, and then you will be more engaged. So in order to bring the more consciousness in your body, we need something to push or like to push. Okay, so use the props, then you will feel more comfortable and you can easily bring more information in your body and in the posture. Okay, this was your warrior B. Now let's talk about like revolved triangle pose, Parivurt Trikonasana. Yesterday or day before yesterday, on Saturday, we did triangle pose, but now we will do revolved triangle pose in which your alternate hand would be on the floor. Okay. So do you have any question about this warrior B? If you have, then please ask.
No, sir.
Okay. So let's talk about reverse triangle pose. Sorry, revolved triangle pose. What does happen in this revolved triangle pose? The distance between your both legs, that will not be the same like a triangle pose. Here we are going to decrease the distance of our legs because our hips are square. See, when you are opening your hips, you will increase the distance, same like in warrior A and warrior B. Like same thing happens in your triangle pose. The triangle pose will be like this, but the revolved triangle pose will be decreased. Okay, the distance between your legs will be decreased in this. So from here, stretch your other hand over the head, whichever leg is in front. So opposite hand should be up over the head. And then exhale, you're going to bend forward and then place your palm either side of your front leg. Okay, so here it is very hard to find the balance and bring the stability in the posture. So in order to bring the more stability in the posture for the beginners, you can always make the corridor or make a room in between your both legs, like take your back leg out. Okay, no need to bring your knee, heel in line. So always remember to take your back leg outward and then stretch your alternate hand up, bend down. Then it's very easy to twist your spine and find the stability more in your posture. And make sure whenever your hips are square, hips are facing forward, at that time you have to turn your back foot completely in. Okay, except in the warrior A. So rotate your back foot completely in so that your hips gets square and bring your heel in one line. Okay, so in this, what we usually do, we twist our spine. Okay, so ensure that your lower belly and your sacrum region. Sacrum region means over here on your tailbone and your lower back. This is lower back, sacrum, sacroiliac joint. That should be stable. You are not twisting from that part. Okay, you will only twist from your thoracic region. All right. So if you have scoliosis, then you are not supposed to do this posture, because in scoliosis we have already got S curvature in our spine. Okay. So how are we going to perform this posture? How to enter into this posture? First, we're going to place our one hand on our lower back or on the sacrum region over here on your tailbone. Okay. Like other hand. Now stretch your one arm up over the head. First, twist your spine. First, rotate your hips completely in so that your hips gets more square. Then bend forward, bend forward, bend forward, bend forward. Make sure your back, lower back and your sacrum region are even and they are flat. You don't need to like twist like this. Okay, so make sure first you are rotating completely in from the bottom of your spine and then stretching your arm up and bending forward, 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 forward. First lengthen your spine, bend forward, and then place your palm wherever is possible. Then twist from your thoracic region only, because we can only twist from the thoracic region. We cannot twist from the lumbar region because we do have stability in our lumbar region. Okay, so that we have to understand in this pose. About your legs, that we have already discussed in the warrior A and triangle pose, like your that the angle the angle of your lower leg and your upper leg, that should be even in your knee joint. Okay, let's do this posture. Come up into the position.
Sir, I have a question. So
Yes.
in this pose, if we cannot reach the floor ground, so can we use a yoga block?
Blocks. Yeah, of course you have to use the blocks. First, keep your hips completely square, and then stretch if your right leg is in front, straighten your left hand up over the head. Straighten your left hand over the head and place your right palm on your lower back or on your sacrum, on your pelvic girdle, like behind the lower back. Okay, now stretch your left hand up over the head, all the way high. Stretch, pull your chest up, and now rotate your back foot completely in, like back hip completely in from the bottom, completely in, and feel the stretch on your both legs, not only on your front leg. Both legs should have to have similar stretch. Okay, now lean forward, straighten your left hand forward, and then place your palm on your mat wherever it's possible. Now twist your spine and then straighten your right hand above your head. Straighten your right hand above your head and then twist from the navel center only. Okay, your sacral region will be even and stable. Four, press your back heel down to feel the stretch on your back leg too. 3, press your front leg as well as your back leg. 3, keep stretching from the navel center. 4 and 5. Inhale, come up high. Now exhale, let's try this on the other side. Turn your left foot out, right foot completely in, hips square. Very nice. Hips facing forward. Now place your left hand on your lower back or sacral region. Now rotate your back leg completely in, like rotate your right leg completely in, rotate it in, complete in, and then stretch your right arm up over the head. Yes, stretch your right arm up and then bend forward. Halfway look up, lean forward, push your hips back. Now slowly, gently place your palms, place your right hand on the floor. Yeah, twist back from the navel center and make sure no twisting is coming from your lower back or from your pelvis. Okay, just twist out from the navel center only. Stretch. Now inhale again, come back to the center. Now exhale, release back down. Now from here, if we are going to modify this posture, we can go against the wall to deepen the stretch or feel more stretch on your leg. Okay, how we are going to do this? Now, if your right leg is in front, just take your right leg forward. Now extend your left hand up over the head, open up your chest, and rotate your back leg completely inward. Keep on rotating your back leg in, keep on rotating. Stretch, pull your chest up, and then exhale, lean forward, bend down, bend down, bend down. and then place your palm on the floor. Now extend your right arm up against the wall and make a cup of finger with your right hand. Okay, now keep pushing your both hands, one hand on the floor, other hand against the wall. Pull up, don't hang into the joints, don't hang, be straight. 1, be active. 2, twist out from the navel center. 3, 4, and 5. Now again, come back to the center. Now again, one more time, understand. While inhaling, you're gonna elevate your thoracic region upward. Okay, the more you elevate, and then more extension you will have, more twisting you will have in your thoracic region. Okay, so in the twisting, first we have to elevate. Okay, while elevation, you will create the space in your joints or in your vertebrae, and then while exhaling, you can easily twist back like this. Okay. So now on the other side, extend your other hand up and then bend forward. Rotate your back leg completely in. Now push your hips back. Don't let your hips go forward. First push your hips back like a forward bend we did in first day or second day. Twist and then take your left hand up over the head and then open up your chest and hold 5. Press your heels on the floor. 4. Be active. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, again come up high. And then exhale, release down. Now shake your legs, shake your thighs. Okay, so do you have any question about this revolved triangle pose?
Sir, I wanted to ask one question. So, sir, we discussed that the reverse, this revolved triangle pose will avoid for the patients with scoliosis. But like usually when any patient with scoliosis is coming to us as like in general PT, then we go ahead and give them the thoracic mobility and the thoracic exercises which involves rotation in it. So is that like we can give some modification to those patients or something?
Yeah, see, this revolved triangle pose itself is very intense. Like they won't be able to do this because if they have already got scoliosis, they can do instead triangle pose, like normal triangle pose, extended triangle pose. Okay, this revolved triangle pose is going to be very intense for them.
Okay.
Or what else they can do? They can use the like a stick behind the hand and then they can twist out. So this will increase the mobility of their thoracic region.
Okay.
So this is how we are going to do. Or if somebody cannot get down, like they cannot get their hands down on the mat, they can always use the chair or anything that whatever is nearby them. They can like take your one hand up. Let's suppose I have got chair in front here, and then they can twist their spine outward like this. Okay, so it's not necessary to get down because person to person, the posture will change. Okay, so we don't have any perfection in the posture. We just need to feel the stretch. We just need to have that maximum benefit from the posture. Okay, so no need to deepen the posture. Wherever you feel stretch, you need to be there. Okay, that is your limitation, and that is going to increase the range of motion of your body.
Okay, sir, I have a question. So while we are bending forward, so front leg, if there is a slight knee bending, that is okay, right?
Yeah, that is okay. We have to
Like
bend up.
if I'm doing this, so little like it's not like same as like my back leg. It's little bending from here. So is it okay?
Yeah, it's okay if it's hurting on your front knee. If it's not hurting, then try to straighten your front leg at the knee. and don't let your hips go forward. Okay, that should be in the center, in between your both
Okay.
feet. Okay,
Okay.
now twist out
And
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 yeah.
and second question is, while we are there is a variation, like you show a second variation. So in second variation, we are take our back leg completely inside, right?
Not
Like this.
not inside, but it's going to be like, now your feet are in one line. You can take your back leg
Yes.
outward. Okay, this
Okay.
is how. But your back foot
Okay.
that is supposed to rotate inward, like almost
Inward.
inward. Okay, that will not be complete
Almost.
inward, but almost inward.
So it's a little bit not in a one line, right? It's not like in one line. We can take little bit outward. Because actually, I'm not exactly getting the difference between the variation, like in one and second, which kind of variation you showed. I'm not getting it
Yeah,
actually.
yeah. See, the first variation is for intermediate people or advanced. If somebody is very beginner, he has got in like lot of tightness on their hamstring or on their lower back. They cannot perform with their straight leg or with their line leg. Okay, so they have to take their back leg more outward and
Okay.
then twist out. Okay,
Okay.
so these poses, they usually comes in your Ashtanga Vinyasa. Okay, we do have these poses in Hatha Yoga too, but as we are like, we have learned this Ashtanga Yoga, then we feel like these postures only come in your Ashtanga Vinyasa. Okay, so we do have these poses in the Hatha Yoga too. Okay, but we did not have Warrior A. We had High Lunge in the Hatha Yoga. So they made this just a variation in between, like variation of the high lunge and high variation of the high lunge to a warrior A. Okay, so now let's talk about the side angle pose. Okay, so in the side angle pose, the instance will be the maximum. Okay, so it has got the highest instance between your both legs in the side angle pose. Okay, so whether we talk about wide leg forward bend, warrior B, warrior A, or high lunge, so in the side leg, in this side angle pose, you will have the largest instance between your both feet. Okay, that will not be one leg distance. It will be more than one leg distance apart. Okay, in the warrior B, it will be like this, but in the side angle pose, it will be more increased. Okay, and your back foot, again, it's going to be turning outward to the side, like like your toes are pointing out to the left side. Okay, if your right leg is in front. Now again, same like warrior B, you have to squeeze in your hips. Don't let your hips moving forward. Squeeze your hips in and then bend your front leg at the knee. Again, whenever you're bending your front leg at the knee, this is a tendency of your leg that will start to rotate inward. But keep pushing your front leg outward. Okay, and then press from the outer edge of your foot. If you have flat feet, again remember, try to lift your toes off the floor so that you will maintain the arch on your back leg and front leg together. Okay, if you have flat feet, then you will tend to lean forward on your inner arch of your foot and you will collapse inward. So make sure you're bringing enough awareness from the floor, and then pulling your toes up and maintain that nice arc on, like nice arch on your back of your foot. Okay, stretch this. Okay, so in this side angle pose, what is actually like to happening in this pose? So first you have to stretch your front right arm out to the right side so that you will stretch. You'll be more engaged with this part. Okay, so what we usually do, we just shrink in and squeeze in. Don't let these muscles squeeze in. Okay, make sure you're stretching your arm forward, 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 and then place your palm inside. Okay, either you can place it outside, that is also fine, But if you place it inside, it will be better than outside. Why is it so? It at this time, what's gonna happen? Because we are supposed to open our hips more outward. So we're gonna, like by default, we're gonna push our front knee away from the center line of your body, and then you will more open from your chest, you will more open from your hip. Okay, if you place your right hand outside of right leg, at that time, you won't be that much engaged with your leg. Maybe you will push your leg out, but this is a tendency you're going to rotate inward. Okay, so it's better to place your hand always inward and then open up your chest and then take your left hand up over the head like this. Okay, initially we won't get down like this. Initially we will place our elbow on our front leg and then straighten your left hand up over the head, so that you will maintain this one straight line from your back leg to your left arm, whichever arm is over the head. Okay, initially we're gonna put our hand on our front leg, other hand straight up. All right, but eventually we have to get down and deepen the posture. Okay, now perform this posture. If you feel something in this, then let me know. Something different, then let me know.
Sir, here one question. So here is the same rule is follow that our knee should be not go forward to our toe
Yes, yes,
before
yes,
our
yes,
toe.
yes,
Same,
yes.
right?
Yeah. See, in any posture, wherever your legs are bent, make sure that is not moving forward more than the 90-degree angle. Or sorry, the knee is not crossing your feet, your toes. That should be always right above your ankle. Now place your elbow or palm on the floor. Now extend your left hand up over the head. I mean over the ear, close to the ear. That should be close to the ear. And make sure you are pushing your right shoulder against your right knee, so that you will be more open with your hips. Keep pushing out and be engaged with your upper hand. And now rotate your hand like this. Okay, now rotate your hand like this and then open up more out. Okay. नहीं नहीं वरुण जी ऐसे में ऐसे करिए, क्लोज से नहीं, आप उल्टी डायरेक्शन करेंगे, इस साइड करिए, ऐसे मूव करिए, ऐसे मूव करना आपको, इस साइड। आपने ऐसे करा ना, आपने ऐसे करा, ऐसे नहीं, ऐसे में करना है स्विंग, ताकि आउटर रोटेशन इंगेज है। हाँ, ऐसे में, ठीक है। See, when you're rotating your hand like this, you will be more open with your shoulder socket. Okay, and you're gonna create the space and you can easily elevate. But when you're doing like this, at the time, like when you're moving like this, at the time you may get that bone on bone compression in your like scapula or the shoulder blades or the humerus bone in the shoulder socket. Okay, so try to open up from the shoulder socket and then reach high and elevate up and make that one straight line from the back leg to your upper hand. Now while inhaling, come up high to the center, arms extended out. Now exhale on the other side. Yes, now straight up, keep stretching, press your back outer edge of your foot. Bring the awareness on your following part, on your back leg, and stretch your entire body front sideways. Hold 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Inhale again, come back to the center, and then exhale, release down. Drop your knees, resting any posture that you like. Okay, so again, if you have any question about this, you may ask now. See, these poses can be modified if you were here, like we could push you out, we can extend it more outward. Okay, so I cannot tell you here, like, because I cannot modify myself. So we need a person to modify. Okay, you can always use the block, like use the block always underneath your palms so that you will get more elevation. The more you are higher from the floor, the more extension you will feel. Okay, so always use the props, blocks, strap, or whatever is there nearby you that you have to use. Okay, then if you don't have any question, then let's finish today's session. Sit in any comfortable pose. Close your eyes. Take a deep breath in. Long exhale out. Inhale. And then exhale. Let's chant 1 Om followed by 3 Shanti. Take a deep breath in. Om. Shanti. 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 Join your hands together in front of the heart center. Bow your head down. Open your eyes while blinking. And namaste. Okay, enjoy your evening, enjoy your day. See you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Welcome. Bye.